We've managed to build a really great reputation for the wines that we sell in bottle, something that we spent 20 years building. But we decided that it was time to do something different, something new, something interesting, and wine on tap fits perfectly into that mould. The winemakers that we work with absolutely love this format. It's so easy for them to do in the winery, and at the end of the day, the wine tastes exactly the way they want it to by the time the customer gets it in their glass. For service staff, working with wine on tap makes life so much easier. They don't have to worry about opening bottles, taints and other faults are a thing of the past. Service temperature is spot on every single time, and at the end of the shift, the amount of waste they have to worry about is vastly reduced. With wine on tap, everybody wins. The winemaker, the merchant, the restaurant or wine bar, the customer, and the environment.
We came across Petainer as they were already working with a number of suppliers we were aware of in the US. Initially their technology was devised for use by breweries, but very quickly was picked up on by wineries. They are the leading supplier of one-way PET kegs, with over 6 million shipped in 2014. The advantages of Petainer are ease of use insofar as they use standard drinks industry fittings, which makes the kegs easy to fill and easy to dispense. And they are also the most cost-efficient solution for kegging of wine, meaning that we can invest the largest amount in the liquid that goes into the keg, which is obviously the main purpose of the project. The key environmental point with Petainer is that each keg, which weighs about 300 grams of PET and has about a 200 gram cardboard outer on the outside of it, is the equivalent to 27 glass bottles, corks, capsules, closures. For example, a restaurant working with about 120 cases of wine per month, and that's the standard customer we've got, is going to save about 17,000 bottles per year, which will be about 8 tonnes of glass waste alone. Within the winery, the kegging process is very simple. At its most basic, it can be done with a manual head and requires as little as £200 investment from the winery to get started on that basis. There are also automatic lines available for larger scale operations, which allow companies to scale up and automate the process very, very efficiently. The kegs are filled by initially sparging with nitrogen to ensure that they're anaerobic at that point. This is the same as a good quality bottling line would do. Then the liquid is filled and then they're sparged again with nitrogen at the end to ensure that all the gas in the head space is inert. In a typical winery, wines will be blanketed under these gases anyway, and therefore exposure to them is something that wines are perfectly used to. Once filled, kegs have a lifespan of 9 to 12 months, during which time they have to be tapped. Once the kegs are tapped and they're operational within a system, they need to be used within 2 months. If a client has a listing in place where they are not able to go through the equivalent of 27 bottles of wine within 2 months, clearly we've put the wrong wine into the system at that point.
Being market leaders in new fields is something that we've pushed for with the rest of the company, and certainly the wine on tap, we saw a massive market potential here. We've worked with Roberson for a few years. They were the pioneers who were prepared to sort of put the foot forward with wine on tap and to do a lot of work with us to sort of build the processes and build everything. It's huge that we were managed to get the higher quality wines in keg and on tap, otherwise it would have been a wasted exercise for us. We were nervous about what our customers would perceive of it. With the quality of the wine, as perceptions are a lot lower in wine on tap, and we have to break through that barrier. We have to break through the barrier that says wine on tap is a cheaper, lower quality wine. I think we've managed to do that, certainly with some of the wines that we've got on here. The enemies of wine are exposure to light, exposure to oxygen, temperature changes. We don't have any of those operational issues with wine on tap. It's all in a cabinet, it's in low light conditions, it's in the right temperature, it never changes, it never gets moved around. Plus all the breakages that you have to suffer, or cork taint when you've got everything in wine and bottle, all of that is instantly eliminated. We'd definitely be looking at putting wine on tap into any new concept that we open and any further stores within one concept.
Something that we do here is value is really important to us. And the idea was that we could get really, really good quality products. We could save on bottling, we could save on wastage, and really we could kind of pass that saving along. And most people just love it. Most people look at our list and they say, oh wow, you've got small glasses, large glasses, a litre, and especially when they can see it coming on tap, so it's a lot of fun. Just to not have to physically count and move and track hundreds of bottles of wine is a massive bonus in my day. The shelf life is about 2 months, I think, but we haven't had to test that yet. We're literally moving through a couple of each every week. We do sell a lot of wine, and I think that's kind of a big part due to the quality. Like something like our Syrah, which we've seen listed at between £9 to £11 is £7 a glass for us. I guess the wine flows easily, so people drink it easily.